Good evening, everybody. We're doing a special late night crypto talk, unscheduled, and it's rare that I do a late night crypto talk, especially for Saturday. But an article came across my desk while I was doing a crypto talk this morning, and it just the topic is so important. I said, let me do a special live just on this topic, and it's one of those things that everybody wishes they can do. So before we get to that, go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. We are on Zoom and we are streaming live on Facebook. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, share information, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. This is, let's see, on Zoom. I see we've got Mike Nowalski, Lance from Dayton, Ohio. Greetings from North Carolina. Neil Brooks from Richmond, Virginia. Phyllis, Vancouver, Canada. See, Jersey Mike. Crypto Beauty, good evening from Chicago. I don't know who Crypto Beauty is. John Hall from Palm Springs, California. Online, we've got Kauai Yeager. Aloha, Kauai. I don't have any new information yet, but we will look into that. Jim, Prelvis, and Prelvis is the latest individual to take advantage of the topic that I'm talking about tonight. He just fired his boss. Corpus Christi, Texas. Frank, what's going on, my man? Frank, Texas. No. Frank, you're in Texas, yeah. DJ from Colorado. DJ, got some good news for you. If you ever look at your back office for WCL, $25,000 worth of volume just hit right below you. Scott Compton, I have not seen that name in a long time. Scott Compton from Charlotte, North Carolina. Ladson Johnson from upstate New York. Oh, Crypto Beauty is Melanie. Did I know that? What's going on, Melanie? Melanie China Doll Davis. Let's see. You know who's missing is the connectress, and I know she's gonna flip out. She forgets I'm still on here. Albert Watkins. Welcome. Jacqueline Briggs from St. Petersburg, Florida. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And this is, well, I'm gonna share screen so I can show you this. So how this all came about. This article popped up. Good evening, Evelyn. Crypto holders earning less than $50,000 are quitting work in droves. That is a lot in that statement. The vast majority of Americans earn less than $50,000. And they're quitting their jobs in droves. So I would tell you a little story, my journey. Hello, Hilda from Las Vegas. 24 years ago, this is around there, right? 1998, 23 years ago, 1998, December. So I entered network marketing. I was a senior at Morehouse College. And I was taught that if you want to have financial freedom in America, there's a couple of things you must do. That's go to school, get good grades, and get a good, safe, secure job, right? A job that's going to take care of you for the rest of your life. Hello, Janelle from Colorado. And that's what I did. I graduated from college. I got a nice corporate job. But I was laid off not once, but twice. I was laid off. And if you've ever been laid off, you know exactly how that feels. And if you haven't, I guarantee you know somebody who has. And chances are you're working the same job, hours and hours and hours, without getting any bonus, raise on your job. You're going to work 40 hours a week, maybe 60 hours a week for 40 years of your life, only to retire broke, depending on family, government, and friends by the age of 65. No more 401k, no more Social Security, no more life savings. Your house is a liability and not an asset because most people don't even own the home they live in. If you're renting or you're paying a mortgage, you don't own the home. The bank does or somebody else does. You just live in it. Most people don't have $1,000 in their savings account. Most people cannot afford a $400 emergency if it were to happen to them right now without going into debt. Most Americans are living in a debt society. Make $30,000 a year and driving in a $60,000 car because you're paying a monthly on it. This is the American life. This is reality. And how many of you are tired of that reality? How many of you on a Monday morning are like how I used to be? Wake up before the sun comes up, driving off to rush hour traffic, to a job we don't like, to work with people we can't stand, to eat lunch at 11 or 12 when we're hungry at 11, to ask for permission to go to the bathroom as if we're a child, to do this for 40 years of your life expecting a different result. That's called the rat race and insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again, yet expecting a different result. So what do? We play the lottery. Lottery gets to 100 million, 200 million, and we wish and we dream that if we hit the lottery, we can quit our jobs and have freedom. And have freedom. Do you understand there's a difference between freedom and luxury? Not too many people can understand that difference. There's a difference between freedom and luxury. See, when as Americans, we think of luxury as having a nice house, having 2 cars, being able to have nice furniture, stunt on your neighbors, take that vacation, the finer things in life, even if that means you're broke getting it. That's not freedom, because then to maintain those luxuries, you're a slave to a job that can provide you those luxuries. And you continue that cycle over and over and over again. Freedom doesn't require luxuries. Freedom is when you don't have to answer to anybody but your maker and your spouse. That's it. Where you can come and go when you please. You can wake up when you're finished sleeping. Do you know there was a documentary on some villages in Africa? And to the American standard, we would think that they were poor. No running water, no electricity. And they found that the people of this village were one of the happiest group of people on the planet Earth. They had the lowest diabetes, lowest heart attack rate, lowest illness rate, no anxiety. They were happy. They were free. They just didn't have the luxuries that we have, that we're slaves to. But they were free because they answered to nobody. They had their own ecosystem, their own way of life, harmonious with the land. They had peace. If you ask any adult male that's a father and a husband in America, the sweetest thing that we ask for, we want, is peace. Peace in our home. Peace. An honest man will tell you that. I just want peace. Freedom gives you that peace of mind, that the ability to sleep without the worry. And what do we mostly worry about? It all always has to do with our responsibilities and finances. July 13th, 2012 was my birthday, my 36th birthday. And I went into my job with shorts and flip-flops on, a job that we normally have to wear business or business casual. And I have sat there with my feet on my desk and said, I quit. This is my last day. Well, I gave them heads up that it was going to be my last day, but I showed out on my last day. Really, I had on shorts and sandals, flip-flops. And my boss's boss, the person who was in charge of our whole office, pulled me in his office. He was like, Brandon, I mean, you've got a good job. It's only 5 minutes from your house. And, why are you leaving? What, are you sure you want to? I heard you're doing some pyramid thing. And, yeah, you might be making money now, but I've been a part of those things before. I was in Amway and those things back in the day. And, they got me all hyped up and everything and told me that I could quit my job. But, reality, you got a family you got to take care of. Are you sure this is something that you want to do? Are you really making that much money? And I just smiled at him. And I said, well, to be honest, I make 3 times what you make. And my job has nothing to do with the career, the degree I got from school in the first place. I only have this job because I needed to pay my bills. And this job wasn't even paying me enough money to do that properly. See, most people are working a job, and the job is noble. And do not get me wrong. I am not blasting people working a 9-to-5 job. That is noble. I wouldn't be here if my father didn't work for 40 years, breaking the color barrier to be the first at his job that was discriminating against minorities, to become the general manager, CEO of the largest water firm in this nation, and go through all the hell he had to go through as a Black man to provide for his family. But there's something, though, about my father is he loved what he did. He loved what he did. Most people do not love the job that they're on. It just pays the bills. It pays the bills. And we would rather be somewhere else. If your bills were still getting paid, and you ask somebody, if all of your bills were paid, would you still go to your job? Some of you say, oh yeah, I love my job. Hey, great, we need somebody working. But most people don't love the job that they're at. So on July 13, 2012, I fired my boss. I fired corporate America. I retired and I went home. My father looked at me like I lost my damn mind. It took him, I don't think he ever really accepted it until maybe it took him 5 years. 5 years to really understand that, I was retired from corporate America, but I wasn't a bum. I work harder now than I did when I worked at corporate America. The only difference is I work for myself. I answer to myself, and I don't even realize I'm working because it's part of my life. It's fun to me. I love what I do. I enjoy what I do. I just get paid doing it. I don't normally do this. I made $26,000 this week, working maybe 7 hours total. I don't say that to impress, but impress upon you when you find something that you're passionate about, that can excite you, that you can get paid a lot of money for doing. You enjoy what you do. You don't realize you're working. You're having fun, and the more you do it, the more money you make. So those of you who came on late, you kind of missed my lead up to all of this. So at any time, you can go back and watch from the beginning. But that was before crypto. I walked off my job. Bitcoin and crypto, I saw something much bigger. With Bitcoin and crypto, I saw the ability to have freedom and luxury. Okay, you see that? Because I showed you the difference between luxury and freedom. Freedom, the ability to wake up when you're finished sleeping, to come and go when you please, to live the flip-flop lifestyle, to take a vacation and decide you want to stay somewhere for a month before you come back home. Freedom, where you don't have to be back on your job Monday morning. The only time most Americans are free is at Friday at 5 p.m. And the government really doesn't care what you do because they know exactly where you're going to be at 8 a.m. on Monday. And you have limited resources to do anything between Friday and Sunday. So they say, oh yeah, you go run free. But when we ring that bell on Monday morning, you're going to be right back in your cubicle. So we'll let you run free for a couple days. They're not worried about that. But what if you could run away for a year, a month, 6 months? Freedom. What if you can do it and be able to buy anything that you want at the same time? Never look at the price in a grocery store, and there was a time I had luxury and not freedom. There's a lot of people that have money, but they're not free. But we're able to walk into a store and say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that, and never ask what the price is. You get it because you want it. One thing I also learned, when you go on to the other side of money, I learned that people who think about money the most are the brokest people on the planet. What do you mean? How do you think? Rich people aren't thinking about money. Wealthy people aren't thinking about, I need to make more money today. Wealthy people are thinking about lifestyle. They're thinking about what they want. They understand that money is nothing but a resource. It's a tool that they use to get and do what they want. Broke people think of money completely differently. See, we're thinking of, I got to pay bills by the end of the week. I got to pay that doctor's note. I got to pay my credit card. I got to be able to send my kids to school. I got to pay for the wedding. How am I going to do that? How am I going to get food next week? Have you ever gone a whole week and only had $20 for the whole week for groceries? I have. We are constantly thinking about money, but our thought process on money is not positive. It is negative. I got to slow down because that's going to lead into a completely different training about the law of attraction. That broke people are actually attracting. This is controversial for those who don't understand it, but this is the truth. Broke people are constantly attracting more brokenness to them because every time they think of money, they're thinking of it in negative. But more than just thinking about it in negative, it's how they feel. They are broadcasting and vibrating a negative, bad feeling about money. So money becomes a bad word, something we don't talk about in the household to the kids. Money don't grow on trees. It's always a bad, negative feeling. And that vibration that we're putting out, we're attracting it right back to us. Whereas wealthy people and rich people don't have a bad feeling when they speak on money. They don't speak on money, they speak on life. And they're excited and they're positive about it. And the universe attracts that to them, which means you need resources to make it happen, which means you're attracting money as a resource to make your dreams a reality of what you want. But that is a whole nother training. That's not what I'm talking about tonight. Tonight, I'm talking about opportunity. A once in a lifetime opportunity for people who earn less than $50,000 a year to have freedom and luxury. See, I've walked off my job with freedom over the years. I gained luxury to go along with it. It is a great feeling to have all of your bills paid and still have an extra $100,000? One question you can ask yourself before you go to sleep tonight is, what will you do, or what would you do if money was no longer an issue in your life? I already gonna have somebody in my inbox. Money's the root of all evil, Brandon. Why are you always talking about money? You're missing the whole point. If you could do and be anything that you want, what is your passion? What would you like to do? You know, one of the things I need to go back, I need to take piano lessons. I love banging on the piano. Doesn't mean I know how to play it, but it is a big stress reliever for me. In my office right now, on the other side of this laptop is my keyboard. I play my keyboard all the time. It's a stress reliever for me. But I would love to actually get official lessons and learn and spend hours just playing the piano, traveling. You know, I've been everywhere except South America, Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, Dubai and whatnot. Those 4 areas is next I want to go to. I've been in, well, Mexico don't count. I've been Mexico, United States, Canada, Europe. But I haven't been to those other places where the rest of the population of the planet resides. I want to see different cultures and eat different foods and experience. 45 years old. Why do I need to wait till I'm 65 to do all that? That doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna be old and ready to take naps when the day's not even over yet. Well, okay, I take naps right now. I'm 45. I'm starting to get up there. But you don't have to wait for all that to happen. You can manifest that now. And if you've ever had that dream, I'm here to tell you how it's a reality. Provis Lofties, who's on here right now, just did it. Just did it. So for those of you making $50,000 or less, so now I only read 1 or 2 paragraphs of this morning, and I'm going to finish it right now. And I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to give commentary as I'm reading this. And then afterwards, I'm going to give you guys some options. Neil, you've been playing the keyboard for 55 years. Yeah, but you actually know how to play. Mine is for an audience of 1, me, for my own brain. So crypto holders earning less than $50,000 are quitting work in droves. The poorest workers are quitting work thanks to crypto gains during this bull run. So is it possible? I shared all of that with you before I got to this, as I was telling my cousin earlier today. What Jim Rohn says. We have enough proof and evidence to know that it is possible to live and manifest an extraordinary life. It's no longer just a dream. It's no longer just a hope. But we've seen it in reality through the eyes of others. It is possible because we now have proof and evidence. I am evidence of it. Provis Lofties just posted yesterday. He walked off his job. Why? Because he learned how to maneuver in the financial space with cryptos and leverage his money. Learned a skill set. And this is a skill set that anybody can do. I don't care who you are. I don't care how old you are or how young you are, man, woman, or child. There's no glass ceiling. Skin color doesn't matter. Your religious belief doesn't matter. The language you speak doesn't matter. Your education doesn't matter. All you need is a cell phone, access to the internet, and a willingness to learn. If you're hungry enough, how bad do you want it? And I said that before, and somebody challenged me and said, Brandon, you don't understand. I want it bad, and I work hard. I work hard every day of my life. I'm busting my butt. And I told him, I said, yeah, you know, the hardest working people in America are the brokest. It's not about you working hard. It's about you working smart. Smart. Where are you putting your effort? Where are you putting your energy? What results is it yielding you? Working smart. So let's get into this. The poorest workers are quitting work thanks to crypto gains. Research by Consumer Intelligence from Civic Science reveals low-paid workers are quitting their jobs as a result of their crypto profits. Now, I want to qualify something here. I do not advise you to walk off your job and quit unless you have at least one whole year's worth of money stashed aside that can pay all of your bills. So if you decided to lay on a beach for a year, every bill will still be paid even if you don't work, you have nothing else going on. Because there are some things that can happen outside of our control, and you don't want to get yourself caught. So plan for it, you know, don't be reckless. Plan for it. If you can make sure you're stable and you're planning for it, get your freedom. It's like breaking the chains of slavery. In April, a record number of US workers quit their jobs. This trend has continued in the subsequent months, leading to what the economist calls the Great Resignation. That is something. And in our lifetimes, we've experienced so much. And I was born in 1976, and everything that's happened since then, no generation in history has seen change the way the last 45 years have done in such a random way. You know, even if you go back the last 100 years, the technological advancement that has taken place, humankind has never seen anything like this before. Now, we've already experienced the greatest recession since the Great Depression in 2008. Now we're looking at the Great Resignation. The pandemic has changed how people think about life and work based on the stats. So in other words, based on fact. And I know we live in a time where facts are subject to your belief. There's no such thing as shared facts anymore. Access to social media gives each person the ability to be their own investigator and your ability to challenge other known facts. There's an old saying, when the mind is right, facts don't matter. If you believe something enough, then in your reality, that is what's true. Even if it's dead wrong, in your reality, that is true, that is fact, and nobody is going to change your mind. Whatever you believe, you can find something on the internet to back it up. So it's like we now have a perpetual 6 or a 9. Two people can be looking at facing each other. You drop a 6 on the ground. One person sees a 6, the other person is going to see a 9, and they will debate at each other over which number it is. They're both right. Or could they both be wrong? So this is important to understand. And I have to watch when I say that because, again, I'm dealing with facts here based on the stats, not something somebody made up or what somebody believes are the stats. This is based on the stats. It's fair to say workers are no longer willing to tolerate poor working conditions. The most fundamental problem being the level of pay in relation to the cost of living. In other words, the lack of a livable wage paid by employers. That is true. How many of you are living or earning a livable wage? You know, if you go back to the greatest generation, my grandparents, the World War II generation. Do you understand not only the trials and tribulations they lived through with World War II, the nightmare of that, but after World War II, especially in America, all of the social programs that the government put in place, like the GI Bill, that allowed Americans to be able to get homes that they're living in right now for dirt ass cheap. It was like just given to them. And if you had a job and a family, in those days, families could have maybe 6, 7 kids, and the dads worked, the mom stayed home, and the dad can afford to have a nice sized house, 2 cars in the garage, send all of his kids to college, and the wife being able to stay home on 1 salary. Is that still the case today? Absolutely not. They say if you want to have a somewhat livable middle class lifestyle, you need to have, I gotta go back in my memory. What was that? $47 an hour. I think it was 40 something to 50 something dollars an hour for that to happen. And when you do the math, let me do the math on this. Oh man, this is not my good strongest speed. $40 an hour times 40 hours a week, $1,600 a week times 4. Yeah, $6,400 a month times 12. That's 70. That's right on point. $76,000 a year to be considered maybe middle class. Not in California, not on the West Coast, not on any coastal state. In other words, in the Midwest, you might have a good life with that, but not on the coast. California, you living in a shack. So you need to have that income. And back in the day, one individual could bring that income. Today, you need 2 people in the household not because they're not working hard. There ain't no jobs paying that. I saw a report in Seattle that only, 2% of all jobs available were paying more than $45 an hour. Are you kidding me? Only 2% of the jobs. And you have to have like 5 degrees to get that type of job. 10 years experience. So now we need 2 members in the household making $40,000 each to have the middle class. But then with all the expenses with childcare and everything else and taxes, and this ain't a lot of money. I'm 45. If I was working a 9-to-5 job right now, and I'm making this on a year, and let's pretend I don't have to pay any taxes. I don't have to pay taxes. And they say retirement age is 65, which means I have to work for another 20 years. So let's multiply this times 20. That's now 1.5 million. But before you get excited, every dime you spend from now for the next 20 years, from all of your bills, mortgage, rent, car note, medical, your children, weddings, college, anniversaries, funerals, every vacations, every dime you spend, luxuries, is coming out of this 1.5 million. And we're now living in an age where we're going back to having 2 to maybe 3 generations living all in the same house, because these new millennial generation, they still living at home until they're in their 30s. And then our parents, the baby boomers, are living longer than the previous generation, which means sometimes they got to move into you. So my generation, Gen X, is taking care of 3 generations: our parents, ourselves, and our children. And then I'm freaking out because my baby cousin, let me not say that. I forgot I'm public. Let me not go down that route. Anyways, we're now having multiple generations that's living with us. that we got to take care of out of this $1.5 million. That's going to go away very quickly. What if there was a way you can make 1.5 million in the next 5 years? What if you can do it in the next 3 years? What if you can do it in the next 2 years? That's the nature of this article. Okay, let's go back. I'd be going off on tangents. I get excited. So I'll read this paragraph again. The pandemic has changed how people think about life and work. Based on the stats, it's fair to say workers are no longer willing to tolerate poor working conditions. The most fundamental problem being the level of pay in relation to the cost of living. In other words, the lack of a livable wage paid by employers. According to Civic Science, some crypto investors who find themselves under such circumstances have job freedom enough to quit. Meaning, crypto and the bull run of 2021 are likely factors in accelerating the Great Resignation. Crypto is creating wealth and job freedom. Wealth and job freedom. Since January 1st, the crypto market cap has grown plus 250% to an all-time high of $2.76 trillion midweek. With that comes healthy profits for long-standing investors. But when it comes to how this newfound wealth impacts the broader economy, specifically the jobs market, survey data from Civic Science shows that the effect is minimal. Their findings reveal 11% of the population has quit their job or knows someone who quit their job as a result of their crypto investment. So have you or someone you know quit your or their job at some point over the last year due to a financial freedom earned by investing in crypto? 4% say yes, 7% say yes, someone I know has, and 88% say no, not at all. However, this survey question does not consider crypto adoption as a whole, which would overstate the no, not at all finding, as most surveyed do not hold any crypto. Look at this. And I want you to remember this number here when we talk about what's about to happen in the crypto space, because you haven't seen nothing yet. 88% aren't even in the crypto space. Research from AAA, a business blockchain solutions firm, estimates global crypto ownership comes in at 3.9% of the world population. Oh my Lord. Only 3.9% of the world population owns any type of crypto. Pat yourselves on the back. Give you a round of applause if you own some crypto right now. This is the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind, and this is the beginning, and you are right at the beginning of it. 96% of the planet is not involved yet. I got to qualify that word, yet. This percent, about 300 million people, this percentage is similar to the 4% of people who answered, yes, I have. Why? Because if you're in crypto, we all know somebody who became a millionaire. That's why we're in crypto. We all know somebody who changed their life, or we know somebody who knows somebody. That's why we're in it. This would suggest that a greater proportion of people who held crypto and saw significant gains in 2021 quit their jobs than the survey portrays. How does this stack up by income brackets? By drilling down the above responses into income brackets, it's shown that 64% of people who did quit their job due to crypto gains are lower earners, making $50,000 or less. The top earners who take home more than $150,000 account for the smallest group of those who quit, coming in at just 8%. This implies that crypto investments may have given life-changing gains for the poorest, while better off holders don't consider crypto as a way out. Instead, they see it as an asset diversification strategy and one that isn't significant enough to make them want to quit their job. You guys understand that difference there? I got to break that down in layman's terms. If you're working a job, you're making less than $50,000 a year, you hate your job, but you're doing it because you have no choice. And all of a sudden your crypto, just explodes. You're getting off that job. If you're making a lot more money, 150,000, you've got enough money, you got your house, you got your cars, you have enough money to start to invest, and you're growing your portfolio, and you're in crypto, you're looking more at the long-term way of this. You're waiting till it really goes meteoric before you break off. For you, it's like the stock market, it's like gold. It's a hedge against inflation. You use crypto to safeguard the money you already got. They're not really looking, how I'm going to get rich off of crypto. They're just trying to safeguard what they already have. That mentality is also going to change. Now, remember, I still showed you this number here. 88% of the population, 96% of the planet is not in crypto. Yet, after 13 years, the entire crypto market cap is now at 2.8 trillion. 2.8 trillion. What do you think is going to happen when 20% more of that 88% get into crypto? What happens to this crypto market cap? It's going to explode. Consensus is that they're looking at this going to 8 to 10 trillion within the next 12 months. This goes to 8 to 10 trillion. What do you think is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin? If Bitcoin represents, and everything that I'm showing with you right now is based on facts, numbers don't lie. So I don't care what alternative facts, whether you're Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, the math is the math. All right. 40% of the crypto market cap is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin represents 1.1 trillion. They're saying Bitcoin's going to get to 4 trillion. Again, what do you think this price is going to go? Well, if that happens, this price goes to $200,000 a coin. If this goes up, don't all the other coins go up as well? So let me tell you right now, you are not, I repeat, you are not going to become a Bitcoin millionaire. Is it possible? Yes. Probable for the most people? No. How is it possible? Well, if you have $62,000 and you buy one whole Bitcoin, you stash it away and you wait for Bitcoin to be worth $1 million a coin, hey, you're a Bitcoin millionaire. But that's not probable for most people. But you can still become a crypto millionaire. You can still walk off your job with crypto in a very short period of time. Let me show you another thing. And who posted this? Who do I steal this from? Was it Provis that I steal this from? Let me see. I think it was Provis. Because I saw the post and I shared it. This is what can happen in crypto. And I hate to use this analogy because it is kind of based on a little bit of luck, but it's factual. It's true. Pull it up right here. Yeah, Provis, I stole it from. How many of you had $1,000 a year ago? Let me rephrase that question. How many of you could find a way to get $1,000 if you had to 1 year ago? How many of you could have done that? Okay, everybody, go ahead, type in the chat box. Let me know. Could you have found $1,000 a year ago? And what if you took that $1,000 and you put it in one of these altcoins. And let me just show you as an example. If you put it in Bitcoin, today, 1 year later, it's worth $3,885. If you put it in Ripple, your 1,000 grew to 4,527. Ethereum, 9,798. Polkadot, 11,780. Cardano, 19,527. Binance Coin, 21,972. Dogecoin, 95,882. Solana, 119,828. Polygon Matic, 127,867. Telcoin, 130,000. Axie Infinity. If you had $1,000 1 year ago and you put it in Axie Infinity, that is now worth $1 million today. So the people who jumped on Axie Infinity and they're making less than $50,000 a year on their job, and 1 year later their $1,000 grew to $1 million, are you still going to work that job making $50,000 a year? Or are you going to say, I'm out of here? And then finally, Shiba Inu. $1,000 1 year ago. It's worth $740 million today. The greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind. Now, we can't go back a year and redo it over, but there is something that we can do. We can look at 1 year in the future and say, if I transport myself 1 year in the future, what would I tell myself if I came back in time with that knowledge? What would I tell myself to do? Get crypto. Because even with volatility, over time, it's still doing this. But it's about to do this. Hyperbolic in the next 12 months. This whole thing is going to blow you away, which leads to the last part of it we'll be dismissing. Everybody would love to walk off their job. Well, most people would love to walk off their job. They just don't know how. And they see people doing it in crypto. They still don't know how. Number one, education. Education. Education is key. Education is everything. The most dangerous person, actually, the second most dangerous person in crypto is somebody that has a lot of money and they have influence. And they decide to invest in crypto and then tell everybody else that they can do it as well because they're about to make a whole lot of money. Not refuse to get educated and then end up losing it all. Now, that reason why they're dangerous is because they can afford to take that loss. But the people following them cannot afford to take that loss. So not only are they taking themselves down, they're taking everybody down with them who follow them. But there is another dangerous person that's more dangerous than that person. And that is the so-called guru, the individual who's already had a lot of success in this industry, refuses crypto education, but then wants to come in and try to teach crypto. Oh, I created an investment group. Already you're using the wrong word. And we're going to get in this and we're going to get in that. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And they may get lucky 1 or 2 times. And that little bit of luck is what's going to really screw them up, because now they think they're invisible. Now they think that they're geniuses. until the hits start coming. That's the worst. I can't tell you how many clowns I'm watching on social media right now have no business even talking about crypto, but acting like they've been in it for 10 years because they made a little bit of money on a meme token. I put $2,000 down and made $200,000. I'm a crypto expert now. No, you're not. You got lucky. And that's only going to last so long. Why do you think if we look at Las Vegas, casinos know this. There's a certain percentage that you need to win because they know how the human brain works and why you have people that's addicted to gambling. You win a few times, you think you're invincible. Let me not use gambling. Let me use basketball as an example. Have you ever heard the word heat check before? Where you have a shooter, goes out there, and the coach gives you a game plan to follow. But one superstar shooter makes a couple of shots, and he's like, oh, I'm on fire now. So every time he comes, screw the game plan, give me the ball and move out the way. Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan. Now, a few of these can back that up. Most of the others cannot. And you start doing some stupid stuff and throwing some shots up, coach puts you right down on the bench. But because you hit a couple of shots, you think you're going to hit every single one. It's that shooter's mentality. That also happens in crypto. Because a lot of people can't separate emotions from the game, and they're reacting now based on emotion. So when something doesn't go right, all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks. They don't know how to handle loss. And when it happens, instead of being in retrospect of themselves, they will point the finger and blame at everybody else in every other situation because it couldn't possibly be me, be me. It has to be somebody else. It's a reason why I just lost all my money. No personal responsibility because they lacked education. I even have people that have been around me for years. They've been watching me put the whole crypto education together and still ain't gone through the crypto education. It blows my mind. It's right there in front of you. But you got to want to do it. If you want to reap the results, I strongly suggest crypto education first. Then there's opportunity. Now, I can't tell you what opportunities you should be a part of. Whatever way you can to earn money, whatever you're doing to earn money so that you can start to build your portfolio, do it and do it well and do it big and make as much as you possibly can and be in accumulation mode. Be in accumulation mode right now. Don't sell none of your tokens and your coins. Accumulate as much as you possibly can. Remember that old quote I said about Jim Rome? We have enough evidence and proof to know that it is possible to live an extraordinary life. Well, now that I've been in crypto for more than 4 years, I have enough evidence to look over the years and see patterns and see proof. And I came to a conclusion. If you started to accumulate crypto 3 years ago and you never sold it, you're 10 times better off right now than you were 3 years ago. What's the word that I use? Because I don't want to use the word mistake. I forgot the word I used the other day. Regret. The one regret that I have in crypto, for me personally, because I work full-time from home, I do this. I earn crypto. My only regret in this space, main regret, is that when business goes down, up and down, but mostly when it was down, I had to sell my crypto assets and positions to maintain my lifestyle. And when I think about how much money I sold, pulled out, and what that is worth today, it is crazy. It is crazy. So you want to find something that you're making enough money that's going to pay your lifestyle, pay all your bills, and then have something that has an income coming in that allows you to build your portfolio, whether you're starting with $5 or more. I started with 30 bucks because that's all I had at the time. That month, I borrowed money from my dad to pay my rent. I was almost about to get a job. I was at one of my lowest points in business right before I jumped into the crypto after 6 months of me studying this, figuring it out. And it saved me. It saved me 2017 all the way to now. So if you're not willing to get crypto education, do not get involved in this space. Keep your money. And I can almost guarantee that if you do get involved, eventually you're going to end up losing it all. You're going to end up losing it all, one way or another, whether it's 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. But the proof and evidence that I had again, 3 years ago, if you started to accumulate and never sold, you're better off. So now that we're here, accumulate now. Where do you think you're going to be 3 years from now? Based on what you're accumulating now. So you want to walk off your job, whether it's you're making 50,000 or less or more, get crypto education first, and then start building your crypto portfolio second. Don't ever worry about what the price of any token is right now. Okay, I'm giving you long-term thinking here. I don't care if Bitcoin is 60,000 or 50,000. In fact, I hope it drops to $25,000. But my strategy is the same, no matter what the price is, because I know over time it's doing this over time. So that is all I wanted to share tonight for Late Night Crypto. How long did I go for? Oh, right on an hour. Cool, cool. I hope you learned something new. As always, that is a point. Congratulations to Provis for walking off his job. My man James Davis for making millions off this space because he didn't have to liquidate his tokens and coins like I did. And he sat on stuff. Like, I'll give you an example. There's a token called Hex that launched January 2020. $4,700 down at that time. September 2021 is worth $7 million. From 4,700 to 7 million in a year and a half. Where a lot of you guys get in on a meme token, it goes up, it comes down, you sell, you quit, you scream, you cry, somebody stole my money, I got scammed, I'm never being in the space again, it's all these people's fault, it's their fault. You just don't get it. I said earlier, on my meme tokens that I spent more than $1,000 on, I haven't sold a single piece. Because I don't care what it's doing right now. It could end up like Dogecoin did. Do you guys know the story of Dogecoin? Do you really get it? The creators of Dogecoin are not crypto enthusiasts. The opposite. They don't believe in this Bitcoin and crypto and blockchain stuff. They created Dogecoin because they have the technical skills, know how to do it, and they wanted to show everybody else that the crypto space is a bunch of bull. Speculation, toilet bowl, a bubble. And they said, look at all these suckers that's going to buy our Dogecoin. That means nothing. There's no use case for it. We just created some crap. And then when people started to buy it, it went up in value. And the creators sold all of the coins they had for a profit. And the price went down like this, and they laughed at everybody. See, we told you. We told you. But what people that are not educated in crypto fail to understand, that the moment a coin or token hits the blockchain, it is no longer, it doesn't matter who the creator is. It doesn't matter who the owner is. It doesn't matter what their intent is. It is public domain. It is decentralized. It belongs to the people, and the people make it what they want it to be. And what happens? Elon Musk makes a tweet about it. Mark Cuban talks about it. Reddit community in 2020 start talking about it. People start buying it. And now we have new Dogecoin millionaires. And the founders of Dogecoin will be multi-billionaires today if they held on their coin. Doesn't matter what they do. The hard part is trying to figure out which coin is that unicorn going to be. Do not put your stake in meme tokens as your financial freedom. It's a bonus. It's icing on the cake if you can make it up big on one of those things. Extremely, extremely risky and volatile. But I have to qualify it. But it will allow you, if you hit big on one of these, to completely change your life, literally overnight. Like Shiba Dude, that his Shiba is now worth like $7 billion in a year and a half. That's going to happen for some of you. It's not going to happen for everybody. But the chances of it happening to you greatly increase if you got crypto education. So if you are listening and you want to know how to get crypto education, send me a private message, or whoever might have invited you. They will lead you in the right direction. If you're looking for opportunities because you don't already have one, of ways to earn crypto. I call it earn while you learn. Get back to whoever invited you or send me a private message. And I will show you some of the things that we are a part of right now to earn crypto. Take a little bit of profit for yourself, use the rest to put into building your portfolio. The worst thing for you to do is to listen to what I'm saying, see with your own eyes all of this information, and still do absolutely nothing. That's the worst thing you can do, because you're going to kick yourself in 3 to 4 years. You're going to kick yourself saying, I wish I would have done something. Like I'm kicking myself about Bitcoin. I could have got on Bitcoin in 2012. I could have got on Binance in 2017. I could have got on FTT in 2019. I missed. I'm not missing it this time around. Not going to happen. So you're either with us or you're going to watch us. But it's going to happen. You can witness it. All right, everybody, that is it for late night crypto talk. I like doing this type of night. I might come up with different topics, and every once in a while I'll come back and do something like this. What else is taking place? That's all I'll share for tonight. If you want any other information, send me a message. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bitcoin Brandon out. Take care. Bye-bye.